بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we have completed 22 days of Ramadan, and inshallah, in these last nights, we'll be able to make the most use of these blessed days and try to become as close as possible to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. The topic for today is Allah's name An-Nur, which means the light, or figuratively, the guidance. And there's three lessons that I think we can all learn from this name and that we can implement in our lives, inshallah. But before that, I think I'd like to give some context on Allah's name An-Nur and its magnitude. And there's an ayah in the Quran in Surah An-Nur, ayah 35, that really helps convey the meaning of Allah's name An-Nur. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم. So in this ayah, Allah begins by saying that Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, and then He creates or He paints a picture of the nur, which goes along like this. So imagine you have a lantern with a glass veil or a glass cover, and الزجاجة كأنها كوكب, which means that the glass veil is like a shining star, and then within the lantern there is the oil of a blessed olive tree, and then it mentions how لا شقية ولا غوبية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار, that this oil is so pure that it would almost glow or shine even without any fire touching it. And then it says nur ala nur, light upon light. So this verse really goes to show you the magnitude and the power and the brightness of Allah's nur. How it is a light upon light, and how just like how the lantern itself is shining, the oil inside the lantern itself is so bright that it can shine on its own. It can almost shine on its own. And this brings me to my first lesson, which is oftentimes in life we'll reach points where we're in a difficult situation or we face severe obstacles. And in these moments, we're going to need help and assistance and guidance. And in these moments, we should turn to Allah because He is An-Nur, He is the light, He is the guidance, and He is the source of the solutions to all our problems. And secondly, oftentimes especially in the modern times, there's like certain individuals or influential people around the world who we seek guidance from and who we ask for help. And while this is fine, as long as our intention and the people who we are consulting are qualified, we must always keep in mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is An-Nur, and He is the ultimate Nur, Nurun ala Nur, light upon light. And that ultimately it is He who decides whether you are going to be guided or not. The ayah mentions, يَهْدِ اللَّهُ لِنُورِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ, Allah guides whoever He wills to His light. So even when we ask others for help, always remember that our intention should be that Allah is the one who's going to help me, He's the only one who can help me, and there's no one else better than Him to turn to. And finally, The last lesson, which I think is probably the most important lesson, is that Alhamdulillah, most of us have been blessed with the opportunity, the fortune to be born into Islam. And we've had the fortune of living in a large Muslim community, having a big masjid, and then going to Islamic school. And all of these blessings are sort of guidance in our life. There's some sort of guidance that Allah has given us, even though we haven't done anything to deserve it. In fact, I would argue that there is no action we could do to deserve any sort of guidance from Allah because of our insignificance. But the point is that we have been blessed with guidance from Allah, and we should appreciate this. We should be grateful for it. And it's kind of like you only appreciate the light when you're in the darkness, right? You only appreciate Allah's help and guidance when you're in difficult situations. But we should also be grateful to Him when our lives are going well and we don't have as many issues. So, inshallah, let's all try to, whenever we're in difficult situations, to turn to Allah and ask for His help and guidance. And remember that He is ultimately the one who decides whether we will be guided or not. And finally, let's also be appreciative of all the guidance and blessings that we've had and that we are currently being given by Allah. And inshallah, let's try to make the best of this month of Ramadan and try to become as close as possible to Allah. Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.